Hey, gang, welcome to Habit Hacking Weekly. I hope you're having a great week. It's finally March. Hopefully, that means spring is on the way. Hello to all of our friends on Instagram as well. I hope your coffee is strong today and you are having a great day so far. Hey, let's get right into this. I go live every week, Thursday at 12 p.m. Eastern on Instagram to really, and here when we repost it on YouTube to talk about what we learned this week on the Self Transform podcast. We haven't met yet. Hi, I'm Emily Nichols. I'm a habit and fitness coach, and I help busy working moms in particular habit hack their health. So I've noticed over the time I've been in the wellness industry, I can give you a workout plan, I can give you nutrition information, but actually do it logistically make it work in your life. That's where the real challenge is. So that's what I help women do. I do that from a lens as being a behavior change specialist. So let's talk about this week's episode. So earlier this week on Monday, episode 193, we talked about the ugly truth about self-care with Marissa Rehder. So what's interesting about this conversation is resentment came up. It came up as a really big talking point in this episode. And this has really resonated with a lot of you from what I've been talking online and reviews and whatnot. And I'm so glad it did because it's real, right? Like self-care, a lot of times as women, we feel like it's selfish or like we know at this time, like, yeah, I know, I need to take care of myself, but I just don't have the time. Or when I do, I just feel really, really guilty. And self-care really is a choice and it doesn't have to be big or grandiose. It can be something really simple. But I think what we find a lot of times, and Marissa brought this up on our episode, is a lot of times we're so quick to just sacrifice ourselves, right? And I just shared a story on the episode and on my Instagram stories too about, gosh, the momentum you build when you do start doing things. I did something really simple for myself and I scheduled an appointment to go see a chiropractor, kind of check out where everything has shifted since I broke my tailbone like 9 months ago. And this is probably 3 months later than what I've been trying to do it. And it felt so good to do that. I'm like, gosh, why did I keep putting that off? I'm like, well, I had this to do for work. I had this to do for the kids. Oh, my husband's out of town. We have all these things going. I just didn't have time. And when I made the time, I was like, wow, that felt great. And I made a bunch of other appointments after that. And when we don't do anything for ourselves over time, that can build up resentment, maybe resentment with your spouse, maybe resentment with your friends, resentment with people you see even on social media, right? That is so real. Let me know in the comments here on Instagram if that resonates with you. Before I got into the wellness industry, gosh, back in 2015, I had my own transformation, but 2017 is when I started coaching folks. And before that, I remember my husband would go do all these things for himself. And he would be like, babe, you really don't like have any hobbies or do anything for yourself. And I'm like, I don't have time to. I am working and I am taking care of our kids, our boys. And once I did, and I felt resentment towards him. I'm like, you get to go do all these things. He's like, well, you could too. All you have to do is ask like, hey, do you mind if I go do this? And he's like, I don't mind at all. It makes you more patient mom, more loving spouse when you do get to do some things for yourself. And it could be as simple as just going for a walk or like, closing your door and like reading like a book all by yourself with the door closed, right? So over time, more things I did for myself, I pretty much built my own self-care, my own self-care routine in a way. And it varies from season to season. As my kids have gotten older, as I've gone into business for myself, and it just varies over time, right? So if you're feeling resentment, I don't want that to turn into a habit that you are just stuck in and you're just feeling like, oh, like they get to go do whatever you want. Stop sacrificing yourself, okay? Sometimes the lie is that we just don't have time and we're just so stuck in the roles that we hold that we're losing ourselves. And sometimes to find yourself, you really just got to take care of yourself. So let's talk about today's episode, our Habit Hack Thursday episode. So today I was talking about why you should move, like do workouts when you're sad, when you're sad. Well, it's science. There's actually happy hormones that are released during workouts: serotonin, dopamine, endorphins, oxytocin. And I talk about in the episode what these particular hormones do to make you feel more happier, calmer, more motivated. And a lot of times we have to like physically get out the feelings, right? And sometimes physically getting out the feelings has to happen via a workout. I don't know if you've ever had an emotional release during a workout or just felt like, gosh, I just needed to move my body and sweat. If you haven't felt that way, I highly recommend doing something like that, because you'll be really have those happy hormones on the other side. Now, I know cortisol is like a really hot topic right now. High cortisol can affect those happy hormones. So today's big habit hack for you, spoiler alert, is to make sure you're doing a variety of workouts. So low, moderate, high intensity workouts for really a consistent flow of happy hormones and not overdoing it, and then thus over exercising and leading to burnout. Exercising can reduce your cortisol levels at night, but if you're doing like endurance, like all the time, just hard hitting all the time, that can raise your cortisol levels to a higher level and can affect those happy hormones over time. So, feeling sad, move your body. You're going to feel a lot better on the other side. Let me know if you've ever felt that way too. Once you've moved your body, you feel so much better on the other side. Sometimes you just got to physically get it out, right? So I appreciate you hanging out with me today for Habit Hacking Weekly. You can view some of the other videos to kind of get some cliff notes, if you will, what we're talking about on the show every single week. Next week on Monday the 6th, I have a big announcement. You all have given me such great feedback and really answering a lot of really great questions that I've been asking about, as far as what do you want to see from me? What do you need from me? And there's some new programming coming out this Monday. I'm so excited to share it with you. We're going to have a big giveaway next week and some big savings as well, just to, create some excitement around this launch. So thank you all so much for watching. And I'll see you next week, or you can go listen to Self Transformed in the meantime on your favorite podcasting service. I'll catch up with you next week. Bye.